Blessed love, blessed love, blessed love. His time is up. Family, welcome once again to Afua Speaks at Community Conversations. Good night, good night, good night. That looks a little bit less harsh, that lighting. Yes, my brothers and sisters, I can see that we've filled up mighty quick. Blessed love, Lioness J. Oh, sorry, I thought that was Lioness Keats, but Lioness JM nonetheless. Lioness Keats, blessed love. Glad you're on time, sis. Just waiting for the room to fill up. Blessed love, Ronnie. Yes, my brothers and sisters. It's been a fantastic day, hasn't it, in terms of weather? I'm always happy when the weather is shining and the melanin is popping, my brothers and sisters. I think my background's a little bit weird tonight. Not sure what's going on there. I keep disappearing. Hey. Yeah. So let's just get where was I keep am I disappearing at your end? I don't know what's happening here. Good evening, family. Yeah, I think I'm back. Yeah. Brothers and sisters, I had a fantastic birthday. It was really, really, really relaxing. And all the good things. Won't go too much into that. So, you know what we're going to be talking about tonight? Wow, wow, wow. Not another grime artist. I call them all grime artists, whether they're rappers, grime. I've been getting DMs telling me that certain people aren't grime artists. They're this, they're that. To be honest with you, I don't understand the genre. Let me try and move a little closer because I'm not sure what's happening here. I keep really, really melting into the background. Oh, wow. I don't know what's happening with the visuals tonight, brothers and sisters, but it's looking a little weird. I need to kind of go real close like that to stay steady, I think. Brothers and sisters, do you know what? I haven't even come in from work good. I'm all over the place. I've been in traffic. I'm tired. And I really need to get my head together on this one tonight. It's going to be a short one, my brothers and sisters. What I want to talk about first, though, is before we get into anything else tonight, his time is up. March is coming real soon. We're 3 months before the actual day. So we're going to start campaigning as of next week. Flyers will be out. I want everyone to share in all your networks. And I'm hoping between now and the next couple of months, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a road show. So I may be going live from different locations around the country as we go and touch base with those sisters and those brothers in those parts of the land, and basically network with them, because we want those stories to be heard. It's not all about Brixton. It's not all about London. We want those stories to be heard. And we've had 1 or 2 people that are from out of the area. You may remember the story of the guy in Birmingham. Sister didn't come on. She declined to come on, but we did highlight him. And we've had other inquiries from Nottingham and different places. So it's time we kind of widen the net, my brothers and sisters. It's time we did that. So yeah, we're going to be pushing on that. And we really need a push on donations. We want it bigger and better than last year. So far, we've raised probably, I think, about £1,000 or more, about 1,500-ish, thereabouts. We spent a lot more than that last year. So we want it bigger and better this year. And that's since last July, when our lovely sister Sean, big up Afro Belly, our lovely sister Sean started the GoFundMe on my behalf. Well, it wasn't really on my behalf. She did it as a gesture. If it was on my behalf, I would have requested it. I wasn't even thinking like that in the beginning. I'm not sure how I thought I was going to pull it off in terms of getting things done. But it was the furthest thing from my mind. I was just concerned with the victims, the stories, the due diligence, the perpetrators, and pressing through. So let us try to make a push for that. Moderators are going to be putting up the links. I should have put it in the description. I will do that after the fact. So it will be available after tonight. So I'll talk a little bit more about that later, and what our vision is for the march, I suppose. I've tried to put membership out there, but I don't know what it is with the tool within YouTube, my YouTube tool to start membership. There's something booky about it. I've emailed them and they've yet to address the matter. They said they would. They did respond, but they have not done it yet. So basically, look out for that as well. And any announcements in addition to that, I will leave until the end as well. So what I wanted to talk about first, because we did talk about it last week vaguely, or I might have put it out in an Instagram video, I can't remember, it was the Africans within Morocco. That was it. The Africans in Morocco and what was going on out there with them. You know, I was really, really moved by that. But what I was really upset about was the fact that there was, you know, it had a little bit of a day on social media, you know, when I got it on WhatsApp and what have you. But other than that, we didn't do anything. We didn't say anything. And I just wonder why that is, because it was an absolute travesty. You know, I had a conversation with a family member of mine, you know, who's fond of Morocco, is familiar with Morocco, very much so. And we were having a back and forth about it, you know, and he was trying to kind of get me to understand that it was a stampede that had killed people in those numbers, and that, you know, that it was a little bit of fake news going around as far as the Western press were concerned. But my thing was this, because I've heard many versions since then. I've heard they were, you know, out and out murdered and whatever. My thing is, I don't really care, you know, what the route was to them being in that condition. From the videos and the footage that I saw, Africans were being brutalized in their numbers, and they weren't being safeguarded in what was a dangerous crowd situation, which is how that should have been handled. So I just wanted to kind of highlight that. And at the end, if anyone wants to come on and focus on that, then that will be great too. You know, it'd be good to have some commentary on that, because I just don't think that there's been enough support. You know, I would have loved to have led out a body of people if need be, but I was sharing the hell out of it, and there wasn't much of a response. Not like there was with George Floyd or something. And I just wonder if it's because as Black people, we feel disconnected from our African roots. It's not really about us, you know. Africans who are in those positions need us in the diaspora, namely Black Americans and Black British people. We are the two most powerful entities in the whole of the African diaspora, and we need to start coming together anyway. That's my soapbox. And for anyone that knows me, you know, before the His Time Is Up campaign, these were my causes in terms of elevating Black people. I am a Pan-Africanist by birth and nature, and these are the things that we champion and campaign against. So, you know, maybe I should make some time to start focusing back on some of the causes that affect us, because the His Time Is Up campaign is not, it's not disassociated from that. Because if you remember, if you were here on the beginning of the journey, a lot of what we did was trying to get people to understand and connect between what we've been through as a people and where we are now in terms of these sexual assaults and things that have been going on in the community. So yes, my brothers and sisters, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. Let's talk about it. But before we get to any of that at the end, my brothers and sisters, let us talk about Dylan Mills. Dylan Mills, aka Dizzy Rascal, who's pretty much from my ends, you know. He's an East London boy. I don't know his mum directly, but I know her from the ends, if you like. She went to school near my school in East London. I'm aware of the family in that regard. There are, you know, he's a younger, more kind of my little brother's age, that kind of thing. But I'm aware of them, and I know a little bit about him in that regard. So was it a shock to me when this story came to me? No, it wasn't. And it should have been a shock. You know, one of the things that I find really, really, he was born in Forest Gate, which is exactly where I was born in Stratford, but I grew up in Forest Gate. It's literally a mile apart. It's a bit like Brixton and Stockwell, side by side. But yeah, he was. You know, funny enough, Nightmare 71, I've got a picture of him here, and I titled it that, Dizzy Ross Clark. Well, I didn't say Clark, I said Dizzy Ross. I mean, it kind of begs for that, doesn't it, really, that name? But yeah, it didn't shock me. And you know, it kind of made me think that it should shock me. All of these stories should shock me. It should shock us. But there's a process of desensitization that takes place, you know, when we go through so many stories and we hear these stories time and time and time again. There's a process of desensitization that takes place. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked because I expect it. I'm expecting it because it's the music industry. And I'm sick and tired of brothers from the music industry popping up time and time again. They're either from the roads or they're from the music industry. You know, what is it? What is it about the music industry? And it doesn't matter which genre. It doesn't matter if it is reggae music. It doesn't matter if it is grime, rap, pop. It doesn't matter. Rock. It doesn't matter. What we see time and time again is the objectification of women, of females, girls, and the harm of females and girls. I don't understand it. And everybody there is complicit. It's not just the artists and their entourage. It's the production team. It's the promoters. It's the venue owners. It's everybody that's involved in that system that is complicit in this abuse. I don't know, other than prayer, what can stop these people from continuing to do what they do, my brothers and sisters. It's just very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. But my brothers and sisters, now we were supposed to have somebody who I'm going to call Miss Y tonight. We were supposed to have her come on. But at last minute, sister changed her mind. She doesn't feel able to come on. And that's understandable, as we always understand when a sister doesn't feel able to come on. But she didn't feel able to come on. She doesn't want her voice identified as much as she would have had her camera off. She's very nervous about her voice being identified, and that's okay. And also about her children who don't know about it, about the incident, perhaps hearing her and all the rest of it. So my brothers and sisters, that's okay. She has prepared a statement. She emailed it to me. I'm hiding the name there so we can't see it, and just so that you guys can see that that is authentic and it's not just something. It's an email anyway. If you can see that, I don't know. Yeah. So she sent me a statement which she would like me to read, and she's also sent me a voice note. It's a very short voice note, and we've had to fiddle about with it. I'm toying with this software that I'm really not understanding how it works, but we've tried it, and she's given us a little sound bite to support the statement, but her voice has been digitally altered. So it's a little bit fast. It's very short, and I'm going to play it again and again so that you can get it, because you kind of got to listen to it a few times before you actually hear what she's saying. So, the question always comes up. I had a couple of DMs about it as well. Why now? Why doesn't women go to the police and what have you? We've had it explained here by women lots and lots and lots of times. Afua Belly, who's in the live tonight, in the chats tonight, she herself gave us a very eloquent explanation as to why she didn't report it at the time. And when the system is stacked against you to figures of 0.1% and 1.8% in terms of cases that are taken up by the CPS and also cases that actually get a conviction, it's 0.8%, I believe, of cases that are taken up by the CPS and only 1.8% of cases that secure a conviction out of that 0.8%. I mean, that's just actually practically non-existent. We keep repeating ourselves. People will not educate themselves as to what these issues are about. Many of the victims, in fact, the majority of the victims and survivors that have shared on this platform have been to the police time and time and time again, and nothing has been done. Either investigations are just disappear into thin air and nobody hears back from the police. They don't even know what they're going to be doing about it. Or you get diligent police officers who do actually investigate a case, gather evidence, bring it to the CPS, and then we have to pray that you're in that 0.8%. It's absolutely ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. And because that system is run by an old guard, that old misogynistic guard, is why I believe this is happening. It's because there isn't any empathy there. It's not a priority for the system. Certainly isn't a priority for the community. We've seen the backlash. We've seen the lack of support from the wider community. We've seen it. We've seen the way that victims feel they have to hide to speak their truth and take back their power. We've seen it. So these are things that we need to really, really change, my brothers and sisters. And that is what the His Time Is Up March 2022 is going to embody and encapsulate, and we need as much support as we possibly can. Big up Double D. Double D, you nearly made me cry with you when I watched your testimony, my brother. You really, really brought some tears to my eyes. I meant to message you, so I'm glad you're here. I can tell you in person. Yes, my brother. So we've really got to make some change, you know. We've really got to make some change. I have stood in the gap for 18 months, my brothers and sisters, going on 19 months now. I've stood in the gap time and again. I've taken it in the neck. I've got people wanting to take me to the High Court and do me for defamation. I've got the police at my door. There's dissent in all my camps, my personal camps, for what I am doing. You understand me? So I'm just kind of saying that at some point, we've got to hand it back to the community at some point. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just saying at some point, the community has to get involved. We have to get involved. Our numbers are few. We do need funds to organize. It's as simple as that. I mean, look, how are we going to set up services, a decent helpline? We had an offer of a helpline once, but weren't sure about him. He wasn't coming through with the compliances that we needed him to have. And so therefore we turned down that offer. We're back to square one with that. I should have got updated you guys already, actually. So anyway, ramble. Sister wants me to read out a statement. And, you know, trigger warning, my brothers and sisters, because it is harrowing. It is extremely harrowing to have to read that out and have to speak the sister's truth, because it is a painful truth. And bear in mind, this sister is now in her early 30s. And she was just 15 years old at the time. And, you know, in fact, let me read the statement and then we can have some discussion, my brothers and sisters. But for those who don't know, this is who we're talking about. Dylan Mills, aka Dizzy Rascal. Okay, and we're going to call the victim Y, or Miss Y. Actually, we'll call her that for her anonymity. So she writes, victim Y writes, to whom this matter may concern, victim now survivor statement. I, Miss Y, was a said victim of child abuse at the young age of 14-15. This incident was never recorded. I was underage, under the legal age of consent, and was trafficked from place to place. This involved a person by the name of Dizzy Rascal. I was going out to Farringdon Fabric with a lot of friends from school. It's a little jumbled, my brothers and sisters, so bear with me. With a lot of friends from school, where I was, when I was let in, I was tiered and went to sit down in the sofa area where my brother was. I shortly was approached by this darker skinned man, and his friend was standing there. He spoke to me saying I looked very nice and pretty. What was I doing, and like to get to know me better. He then handed me a folded piece of paper and said, make sure you come and mention my name. I knew nothing about him. One of my older brothers at this time was an amateur DJ. He then explained who this person was. I went home and asked my father if I could go, but he was not keen. So remember, this is a considerable amount of years ago, my brothers and sisters, a considerable amount of years ago. She's now in her 30s, so it's a good 15 years ago, okay? So she hadn't heard of him. He wasn't as big an artist as he is now, yeah? And I will state that it's all alleged because it hasn't gone to a court of law, but this is the testimony of a woman who is now in her 30s, who says that 15 years ago, when she was 14, 15 years old, just short of her 15th birthday, actually, 15 years and 8 months, that she was sexually assaulted by Dylan Mills, aka Dizzy Rascal. So she goes on to say her father wasn't keen. Her best friend, my best friend at the time, I won't say the name, was older. She was very much wanting to go to this place and was super excited. I was very much tired, and very much not feeling to go. We went to the pier on the Thames and waited. So basically, what happened, my brothers and sisters, is that she was given a flyer by Dizzy Rascal in a club. It looks like it's called Farringdon Fabric or something, in a club, um, inviting her to one of his video shoots. So she's now at the video shoot in a place called Thames Pier. So it looks like it was a kind of boat shoot on a boat of some description. Okay. So she goes to the pier on the Thames, and he's waiting there with his friends. His friends and him had shown up. He asked how old I was. I told him I was 15. I believe from my memory, I was about 14 and 8 months. As we entered, I was asked to do a behind the scenes interview where I stated my name and age. I did this to his production team. At no stage was there paperwork or something to disclose consent from my parents for me to be filmed regardless. Regardless, we went on. I was very standoffish. I felt uncomfortable from the start. He kept approaching me the whole day. It was very clear this was upsetting other females on set. My friend also felt really bored with her makeup and hair. When her makeup and hair was done, I never got this done. They asked to put us in a few frames. One of the production team approached me and asked what I thought. I stood by them behind the scenes, more as his friends were drinking and smoking, that made me uncomfortable as again. I had a record from my brother for him to sign. He was eating chicken at that moment. He had a break. I recall him dragging me into the restroom and saying the only way he could sign my album is if I went into the restroom with him. These were his words. He signed it to her name. He said I looked good, something like this, and hugged me. Nothing more than that I can recall happened. I left after, got upset. I left after a chick got upset and tried to push me, and then apologized on the last frame of the night. It was dancing. I can't figure this out. I left after a girl got upset, after a chick, white, tried to push me and then apologized on the last frame of the night. It was dancing. The black girls pushed my friend. She was really upset by this point. When we left, they separated us and said said they would pay for our cabs to get us home safe. I got in some cab at this point. I felt very unsafe as I was underage and taken away to some house where there was a house party. It was crazy. Everyone was drinking, smoking, bad vibrations, chicks staring at me with pure evil eyes. I kept asking to go home as they said they would make sure I got home safe. So basically, after the shoot, they were saying that they were paying for the girls' cabs to go home. Except she didn't get taken home. She got taken to another party somewhere else, okay? And she didn't like it. There was smoking, bad vibrations, chicks staring at her with pure evil eyes, and she kept asking to go home. They said that they would make sure she got home safe. They took her from the house party to another location, and there she was drugged and date raped. She remembers that an older guy handed her a drink. Next thing she recalls, she was coming in and out of consciousness, and then blacked out 100% as she was raped. From my memory, it was 4 guys. They also robbed my bag. I kept asking to go home, kept saying they would take me. But they took me to one more address. And then one guy actually said this is wrong. She's young, take her home, to the other guy. I remember this very clearly. I was taken to a train station where I had to then ask staff how to get home. The guy from his clique then tried to stalk me. I mentioned something happened to my father. He then put a stop to it. I mentioned what happened to a friend and asked her what to do. Should I go public or report it? She was going out with a grime artist at this moment. She said, everyone will hate you for speaking out. I should have done this early. My old friend, a witness to what happened on the set, is only speaking about this for others whom this happened to. She's only speaking about this for others who this happened to, and leave this in the past. I hope justice for speaking truth is heard. This is my truth. I was drugged and abused against my will. It is absolutely heart-wrenching, my brothers and sisters. They used this girl like a piece of meat. She was a child, a little girl, a schoolgirl. And Dizzy Rascal and his friends, according to what she's telling us, lured her into a video shoot and not more than likely saw her vulnerability, saw that, this is a girl that was not educated on the ends. She's not from the ends. She's not even from a Caribbean background, although she's a person of color. She knows nothing of this culture at that age, nothing of this culture. So they probably saw her vulnerability. It's likely that they saw her vulnerability based on this statement and preyed on her. Told her they were taking her home after this video shoot, deliberately left her out of the shoot, although that her, even though she kind of tagged along reluctantly, she wasn't that bothered. Her friend was really into it. Her friend got into the video. They were clearly not wanting to put her on camera. Interesting. Maybe they already had premeditated, the ones that would be separated and taken to the party. And shame on her friend for completely abandoning her. And shame on that friend, just because you were going out with a grime artist, you didn't want to upset the industry apple cart or the fraternity, and you denied your friend justice, because she would have been able to get a lot further in terms of a claim against these people, if it had happened at the time. These are the things, my brothers and sisters, the advice that comes from your girlfriend, your mother. It's disgusting. It's absolutely terrible. And it really angers me. She is a sweet, lovely, articulate sister. Very spiritual. She's grown into a real survivor. But when you think back to what this little child had to go through, unbelievable. And so cold. Taking her, this is false imprisonment, child trafficking, because they took her from one place to the other to be raped, no doubt by different ends, different friends, whatever. Absolutely horrendous. And I find it really interesting as well that she told the production team. Yeah, she told the production team. She mentions here the album, which to me is a piece of evidence. It's that's evidence. These things can be carbon tested to see how old the ink is when he signed it. She was definitely at the shoot. Yeah, there were eyewitnesses, friends, people around that would have seen and known. And any of you mandem, even if you weren't involved in the rape, yeah, any of you mandem that was at those parties and saw these vulnerable young girls with these guys who would have been, between their late teens and early 20s, with these children, how do you sleep at night? Shame on you. Do you not know about the hand of karma? Do you not know about the biblical principle about the sins of the fathers shall be repeated even unto the third and fourth generation? It shall be visited on your seed. You understand? A lot of the crap that we're seeing in our community, my brothers and sisters, is about those generational curses. Do you really believe you can get away with these things? You men that are violated in this way, huh? Do you really believe that you can get away with these things? Let me tell you, as old-time Jamaican people say, a bad blessing I got to take up on a picnic. Trust me. Trust me, my brothers and sisters. Absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. How dare they? You know, and this girl has said it, just the way that it ruins a girl's life, because after they've had their well, in this case it was actually 2 days. This went on for 2 days. 2 days of fun for them and a lifetime of turmoil for the victim. At what point? At what point? I keep telling you, we're going to take it to the streets. There's going to come a time when Afua is going to be out with the megaphone, not doing these lives, because everyone's too comfortable. Everyone's too comfortable now. We need to stop it. That's what needs to happen. And I'm kind of sick of it, to be fair. You know, this ain't no puppy show thing. People are all up in the comments, making commentary, trolling this, making up videos. I saw this, you know what, I should have uploaded it. I'm going to try now. I saw this ridiculous video. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. You guys have to see it. I can't even explain it. And I've got a feeling it could be truths and rights, because only he could be that base. It's so base. It's unbelievable. You know, and they're accusing me of being a feminist and whatever. Let me tell you something. I'm really not in the mood for it tonight, my brothers and sisters. Let me tell you something. I am not a feminist. For anybody that wants to try and put that label on me because I'm championing female woman causes, please don't. I am a black woman. Now, feminism is a white female construct. They were fighting for their rights because the white male, who has abused just about everybody on the planet, was abusing them at this point in history. So when they were throwing themselves under the king's horse, Emma, what's her name, and Anne, whoever, under the king's horse, the suffragettes and whatever, we were still scrubbing their kitchens. So I'm really sorry. We need to come up with our own construct when it comes to fighting for the rights of black women. And I'm not trying to separate it. We can join hands, but we don't have to take up the labels, my brothers and sisters. Do you understand what I'm saying? And also, this isn't about being against men. You know, there's a lot of kind of really radical white feminism that is about being against mandem. We are not against our men. What we want to do is root out the cancer in our community. And these men that keep saying that we hate men, just shut up. Shut up, or come on this live and state why that argument is legitimate. I'm sick of them. In a moment, I'm going to ask Afrobelly to come on, because we're going to talk about a guy that calls himself Milton McGovern. He comes in many forms. I think he might be a guy called Glowreen or something on my Instagram. But I want to talk about him, actually. I know you're here, Milton. You're out of order. How dare you stalk our guests? This is the kind of misogyny we're talking about. It's the kind of misogyny that caused this young girl, Miss Y, to lose her innocence to these disgusting individuals. And you're going to tell me that I'm against men. I once wrote a line, you know, when evil walks the city streets and wears the guise of man. We're not talking about men. We're talking about monsters. There's a big difference. Big difference. You know, they are demons wrapped in flesh. I'm very sorry. And people are parring with them. Milton, yes, Afrobelly. Yeah, Milton, the misogynistic rapist defender. We'll talk about him in a minute. But you know, Dizzy, if you're watching from the shadows, because you've been very quiet, and so is your camp, very quiet, and I find that really interesting. Now, whenever we see it quiet like that, whenever you don't see people rushing in to defend and what have you, it's usually because everybody knows. And as Hurricane Toya told us, everybody in East London already knows about these things. It cannot be denied. There's no denials. Not had nothing. I think we had one or two people go, oh, where's your proof? As usual. But there's been no backlash. Very interesting. Very interesting. So I'd like to see where this goes. Sister will be supported to take it to the next level. But, you know, I don't want to read that again. It just really made me cry when I read that. But like I said, Sister's going to be supported to see what can happen next. Because I do believe that this little person should be brought to justice. And we all know, I had no idea. I don't follow this guy. I don't like his music, to be fair. I mean, he's a good poet, I suppose, but not into that type of stuff. Bit for the young'uns for me. So I Googled him when this story came in. And lo and behold, he got done. Just last year, June, for beating up his missus or headbutting her. And when he was convicted at the court, which is what all you trolls and you doubters and whatever like, you know, he was he also assaulted the cameraman and broke his camera. So clearly got anger issues, clearly got some internal work to do. And you know what? I'm telling you, I've said it before on Instagram lives, I've said it here on YouTube lives, and I'm going to say it again. You see, if a perpetrator really came and repented, you know, and sought healing and recognized how sick they are and look for healing, we'd help them. We would not call them out here. I would try to get some mediation done between the victim and the perpetrator. I would try. You understand? But the problem with this issue is that everybody wants to tell the victims that they're lying. Everybody wants to bar, where's the proof? You know, where's the proof has become, it's become an analogy, a metaphor almost for, that's not the word I'm looking for, but that will do. It's become, you know, what the rapists and pedophiles use as a get out of jail card. That's what's happening. You know, oh, where's your proof? You can't prove it. Sometimes they even whisper this to the victim, you know, in the ear of the victim while they're assaulting them. No one will believe you. They know. And the law supports them to be able to hide behind that slogan. It is a slogan. It's a slogan. I've realized it's a slogan during the course of this campaign because every single post that I put out, it's all I hear. And then Black people who don't go to the police traditionally, who have no faith in the justice system of the UK traditionally, suddenly want a court case, suddenly want everyone to go to the police to prove their case. You bag of disturbing hypocrites is all I've got to say to that. What happened to the black wall of silence? What happened to Infama Fided? Suddenly we must go to the police because it's a woman telling you that one of your brethren is a nonce, or one of your brethren is a woman beater or a racist. Most of them know that the brethren is a woman beater because actually that's something they don't hide. It's condoned. It is condoned. And there's any man that isn't standing with us shoulder to shoulder, especially this year on October the 16th, after all that we've seen and heard, shame on you. Shame on you. And don't let me wash my goat mouth on Uno. Let me tell you that. Because my word not drop on ground, as they say. You know? I'm telling you, the hand of karma will visit you heavily. Heavily. We've got to take responsibility. And people think it ain't nothing to do with them until it touches your door, until your child is the one that's gone through it. When did we become so selfish? But these are the same people that want to be barling, it takes a village to raise a child. Brothers and sisters, sometimes I tire in this journey. I really, really do. Sometimes I tire. I wonder if it's because I'm wearing this color today. I think it is, you know. The color is similar to the actual background. There's a lot of cream going on. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. I don't know if I'm going gas them and light them. I don't know if I'm going in and out on your side, but I'm certainly going in and out on my side. You know, sick and tired, my brothers and sisters. Sick and tired of hearing these heart-wrenching stories. Sick and tired of knowing that yet another sister has been deflowered and debased because of the depravity of some twisted brother that, you know, just hasn't got his head together. You know, whatever trauma he went through, whatever has caused him to grow from an innocent little baby into this monstrous individual, or whatever made him so weak that he followed peer pressure, you know? Whatever it is, whatever parenting he didn't get, whatever he was lacking, why he's turned into this monster, whatever disturbing society he was brought up in, why he's turned into this monster, he doesn't know that there's anything wrong with it. So much learned behavior in this as well. You know, seeing what your forebears done, how they treated women. So much of that. So much of that. Those men of my generation, you know, they grew up looking at Jamaican people behaving quite respectfully. What happened within that? What happened? Because suddenly we did a blink and there were all these foul-mouthed yardies walking around. Between Windrush and these yardies saying, yo, girl, you're pum-pum fat and all this nastiness, because I know my dad didn't speak like that. to women. I think they had really cheesy chat-up lines that they got from cowboy movies and Elvis films, to be fair. You know? I don't understand where it went wrong. What happened? Was it the death of Bob Marley? Was it the defeat of socialism in Jamaica? I don't know. If you know the history of Jamaica, you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't understand what went wrong. I really don't. I do remember being in Jamaica in the 90s when cable TV had just come on the island or thereabouts. And there was lots of people, lots of Rastaman and different people licking out about HBO and how it's going to spoil the youths and whatever. Could that be it? The onset of the internet, globalization? Possibly. It would be a good debate to have anyway, my brothers and sisters. I actually really will. I was going to share the Punroy tapes I'm going to call them the Punroy tapes with you guys today. But again, this edit just don't want to happen. You understand? So I'm going to try and make that happen. Oh, bless you. My brothers and sisters, I'm going to try and make that happen by next week. A lot happened, a lot of delays. My brothers and sisters, I just got a WhatsApp from our survivor, Miss Y. And she says that she had a bit of a cry. It's brought up a lot of emotions. I want everyone to put up a love heart, some fire to show her how strong she is, you know, and just please, my brothers and sisters, just send her so much healing energy. Oh, bless her. Oh, she's lovely. Send her so much healing energy, my brothers and sisters. Please put up as many love hearts in these chats. I want you to send them up hard for this sister that's here tonight. Bless you. Bless you. I love you. You know, his time is up, family. All you regular sisters, you know who you are. Angor, all of you in these chats, everybody that comes regularly, everybody that supports, everybody that gets it and feels the pain, you know, everybody that empathizes. Big up Rima Truth. I didn't see that you were in tonight. You know, everybody that does that, I really want you guys to just big up yourself as well, because we are family. You know, I've grown to really respect your tenacity over these past 19 months. We're coming on 2 years in November, you know, my brothers and sisters, since I did the Vincent rap video, you know. People going, you've got no results. Do you know the average time frame between making a report of sexual assault, especially a historic one, and actually getting to the door of the courthouse? On average, do you know how long that is? Let's have some guesses in the chat. Tell me how long you think it is, my brothers and sisters. How long do you think the waiting time is on average? Some can be quicker, some can be longer. But let me just see how savvy everybody is with this and what the expectations are. It's not easy. It is not easy. I keep telling everyone, go and watch on BBC iPlayer. I believe it's still there. Okay, Afro Belly says 3 years. Double D says 5. Proud Mama says 8. Can be. All right, you guys are kind of on the right line. Somebody says, Ice Lady says 2 years. It's actually on average 4 years. Planker Boss Fans only says 2 to 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. 4 years. So we're only halfway through that. And we got a lot of them, my brothers and sisters. So don't listen to these people that have no sense, that do not educate themselves, that don't watch these lives in order to gain that education, and so on. Some cases can be a lot quicker because they're full of evidence. And, you know, it's all a winning game for these people. It's all about money. So if there's lots of evidence and it's something to pursue, you know, they may or may not pursue it. And there's lots of other provisos in that as to why cases are not pursued, you know, such as racism, such as lots of different things, lots of different provisos within a system that is already broken and has low numbers in terms of convictions and cases going to court. So I don't know. If we get the resources, we intend to start a Sisters of the Underground UK. We talk about a lot of things, and it doesn't mean they're gone anywhere. It means they're in the pipeline. That's what it means. Yeah. So don't think. And let me tell you, our God may be slow, but he is sure. Remember that. Remember that. I'm going to play you this recording, my brothers and sisters, of this sister here. We've done our best to, it's slightly speeded up, and the voice is altered a little bit. The speed up, I think, is to alter the voice even more, but it's something you kind of, one of those things you have to kind of listen to 3 or 4 times before you actually really hear what she's saying. So hopefully you'll be able to catch it. Let's have a look. Yeah, hopefully you'll be able to catch it. It's very short. It's literally a soundbite, but it supports the statement that we've just heard, my brothers and sisters. Okay, let's play that.
Hey, I wanted to give a statement about what I went through, and I just wanted to say that I was groomed as a child minor. I was underage. I was lured to a video shoot set, accompanied by a school friend of mine, and I was sadly targeted, by that artist, to law school, and then lured back to a house party that he had attended, where I was drugged and then raped and blacked out in and out of consciousness for 2 days. And this is my truth, and I just wanted to share that with you. And there is evidence of this incident. Hey, I wanted to give a statement about what I went through, and I just wanted to say that I was groomed as a child minor. I was underage. I was lured to a video shoot set, accompanied by a school friend of mine, and I was sadly targeted, by that artist, to law school, and then lured back to a house party that he had attended, where I was drugged and then raped and blacked out in and out of consciousness for 2 days. And this is my truth, and I just wanted to share that with you. And there is evidence of this incident. Hey, I wanted to give a statement about what I went through, and I just wanted to say that I was groomed as a child minor. I was underage. I was lured to a video shoot set, accompanied by a school friend of mine, and I was sadly targeted, by that artist, to law school, and then lured back to a house party that he had attended, where I was drugged and then raped and blacked out in and out of consciousness for 2 days. And this is my truth, and I just wanted to share that with you. And there is evidence of this incident. Hey, I wanted to give a statement about what I went through, and I just wanted to say that I was groomed as a child minor. I was underage. I was lured to a video shoot set, accompanied by a school friend of mine, and I was sadly targeted, by that artist, to law school, and then lured back to a house party that he had attended, where I was drugged and then raped and blacked out in and out of consciousness for 2 days. And this is my truth, and I just wanted to share that with you. And there is evidence of this incident. Hey, I wanted to give a statement about what I went through, and I just wanted to say that I was groomed as a child minor. I was underage. I was lured to a video shoot set, accompanied by a school friend of mine, and I was targeted.
Let me stop that.
Targeted, by that artist.
Right, so did everyone hear that? Did we get it? Okay, so everyone's got it. Yeah, is everyone able to understand? Absolutely. So what she's saying is supporting, is supporting what she was saying in the statement, basically. She's saying there's evidence of this. This is what happened to me. And yeah, sis, we just embrace you. We embrace you with all the psychic power that we have. We embrace you with the Holy Spirit. We send it. We send the embrace of the ancestors to you, my sister. And I know that can't be easy for you to even hear that back. But we will have a chat afterwards. You know, she was lured to a house party and drugged and raped and in and out of consciousness for 2 days. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to toy about a bit more with this piece of software and see if we can link this into the live, that when people come on, their voices can be shrouded. Yeah, that's what we want to do. That's what we want to achieve at the end of the day, because you know, I would love if everybody was empowered and felt able to just stomp on the head of their perpetrator and speak their truth, big and bold and bright, cameras blazing, you know, but people come in stages with that. And some people, you know, that's not what they require. That's not what they want. And we have to respect that. You know, it's hard standing in the gap. It's hard telling other people's stories. It's hard sometimes for me getting the backlash of it and being told that I have no evidence and, you know, it's all rubbish and whatever. I've said it time and again. It's not every piece of evidence that we share with people Sometimes we share none at all because it's too sensitive to share. So we just tell the story. That's what it's about. So yes, my brothers and sisters, honestly, misogyny has been flying in my face. For those of you that, I mean, I'm not teaching anyone to suck eggs, but for those of you that don't understand misogyny, it is by definition actually the hatred of women. That's what it is. But it's become a kind of broader term that's used to describe sexist men. Men that are Neanderthal in nature, that believe that women should be beneath them, that believe they have a masculine right to our bodies much of the time without asking. Misogyny is a whole bag. But there's a new term that kind of sprung up out of America, which I kind of guess it would, out of African America, which is called misogynoir. And I don't know if everybody's heard of that, but noir in French means black. So the Latin prefix of misog or misogyny, which is the hatred, it's basically describing misogyny, but from black men to black women. That's what it is, and that's what we're dealing with. Don't tell me I hate men. I love my brothers. Who's more sexy than a black man? And the world knows it. Everybody wants our men, don't they? So why would I hate our brothers? They're fantastic. They're beautiful. They're wonderful. Nothing wrong with decent, loving, responsible black men. Nothing wrong with that. I hate the dirty bungles. I hate the woman beaters. I hate those that are abusive, whether that is verbally, physically, emotionally, psychologically, that think that it's okay to treat a queen like that. That's who I hate. That it's okay to rape a sister. It's okay to fiddle with our young children. That's the brother that I hate. Yeah, it's not all men. It's that brother. Can't stand them. And you know what I hate as well? The whatless baby daddy who creates so much of this stabbings and, little girls not knowing themselves and giving themselves to all and sundry. Do these brothers actually realize what they're doing to their children when they decide to disassociate from their children, usually because they're either so in love with the mother that they can't bear her, like when they say there's a thin line between love and hate, my brothers and sisters, there really is, or they are so irresponsible and so selfish that they actually just don't give a damn. Never did, but when you get, what I find worse when it comes to that, my brothers and sisters, I'm on a bit of a rant tonight, but you know what I find worse when it comes to that? I find it worse that you didn't just walk away in the first place. Don't engage the youth. Don't go on like you're the baby daddy of the year and then drop the child out when you can't get your way with the mother or you hate her because she effed you off. It's ridiculous. These feminine brothers, I know we're in the feminine right now, but some of these brothers are just taking it too far. I want to see some masculinity going on. I want brothers that are able to withstand hurt and pain and do the right bloody thing. That's what we want. Everybody's saying they hate men. And none of them will come on and debate it. They say it from the shadows of dodgy accounts and even dodgier videos and posts. Unbelievable. None of them won't come on. I'm going to put in the link, my brothers and sisters. I'm going to put in the link for any of the topics that you guys have heard tonight, that if anyone wants to come on, please do. You know how it goes. Oh, this is my other laptop. It operates different. Afrobelly, if you could jump on, my sister. We want to talk about Milton first, but it's there for anyone else that wants to join and talk about any of the topics. And I do want to hear some commentary about Dizzy Rascal. No one talks about it. We call these guys out and everyone just watches in the shadows. Very few people come on and want to state their point. But then I get a barrage of DMs after the fact. Come and talk. Let us hear you. Let us hear the voice of the people. It's supposed to be a community conversation, guys. Come and talk. Afrobelly, jump on for me, my sister, if you can. Takes a little time to turn that around. I'm just going to read some messages, my brothers and sisters. Not out. I'm just going to see what's in the inbox. Oh, thank you, sister. Sister Giselle that joined us a couple of weeks ago now. Still, just a little update. She just says to wish sister Y well. Thank you for that, sis, because I know you're going to your aunting. But by the grace of God, sister hasn't even heard from these people yet, and we keep on praying. Let them even forget your case. Let it fall off the face of the earth like the thing on the computer that you were telling us about at the airport, my sister. We pray for that. Yes, we do in His mighty name. Blessed love, Empress. Blessed love, blessed love. I can't see you.
No, sir. And I
You
can't
got
go to me. And I can't go to me today because I just
bad
rushed
day
down.
today. Bad is
Mhm.
tired day today.
It's a mashup, but I just wanted to say happy birthday first, sis. Happy
Oh,
Earth
bless you,
Day, and
sis.
thank you for all the great work that you're
Thank you,
doing.
my sister.
Please don't feel it's a disrespect that I'm not coming on. I wasn't prepared.
No. I mean, even today, I feel like maybe I should have my camera off while I'm doing the live. You
No
know,
man.
us when we have our days, people get, hey, you look all right, or people think that we do it for men or whatever. No, it's about how you feel inside, right?
Yeah, it's my hair. My hair is. I don't want it on camera. Simply put, and I'm comfortable with it, but just not for YouTube today.
Sisters in their hair,
But I
sisters
did
in
want to
their
give
hair.
my support to the sister that shared
Thank
her
you,
story. It's
thank you,
quite
sir.
personal story actually.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that she was assaulted through drugs, like it was induced upon her. But I grew up a part of my childhood seeing that guy, Dizzy Rascal.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really my kind of thing. So hearing this is interesting because now I'm understanding why some things are not my thing. That energy, that music,
Mm.
like most people weren't really listening to that. Who was listening to that?
It was quite
Really?
too
You know what I
commercial for
mean?
me. It
He
was
was
way too
famous,
commercial
but
for
he
me.
wasn't. Yeah. So I'm glad that it's come out. I hope that this story goes as far as it can possibly go. I hope that he can be held accountable and just be strong, sis. You did the right thing for you to come forward. I'm really proud of you. And I just pray for your ongoing healing, your
Hmm.
healing and wellness in that situation.
Absolutely. Robert Blake says it's so sickening knowing that this boy is still working in the public eye. It's a trigger for the lady. Absolutely. It's a bit like Jimmy Savile, isn't it? You got to turn on your TV and see the dirty bungle stand up every minute.
Right?
It's not good.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good for the healing of the soul. And she's a battler. She's a true queen to have come through it. So intact, intact.
Exactly. And as true survivor as well.
Absolutely.
And it's
Absolutely.
important that she shares this story. There's many
Mm-hmm.
other stories out there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe her speaking up will make other ladies speak up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, that's the aim, sis. That is
Because it
the aim of
can't be
it.
a one-off, isn't it? It can't, not with that kind of extreme, crazy,
Definitely
psychopathic
not.
behavior.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Do you know what? I'm actually looking for Milton McGowan on Facebook. He sent
And
me
I'm
messages
looking for
before.
messages. I'm looking for what the messages that you're going to ask me
Do you know
about.
what? I should have actually organized myself and got you to send them in. So basically, my brothers
Oh,
and
I
sisters,
found them.
let me catch them up, catch you. WhatsApp them to me, sis. I'm gonna see if I can upload them while we're talking and get them on the screen.
If I come off the app, will you still hear me and everything if I come out of the StreamYard?
No, won't be able to hear if you come off the link.
Let me see if I can get them to you another way.
Okay.
Because I'm looking on my laptop. That's why.
Okay. All right. No worries. So let me catch everybody up to speed. So ages ago, over a year ago, while I was in Tanzania, I got a random, what do you call this thing? Facebook call. Is it Messenger? Somebody called me via Facebook anyway. And it was to comment on the Vincent rap video. So I picked up the phone, I answered it. This person was polite enough. And it started, what was the beginning of a series of conversations that would happen periodically, never initiated by me. Just this brother who told me that he was from Brixton, that he knew a lot of the people that I was talking about, and he particularly knew Vincent Rat. Now, the first argument that we had, because, I'm away, I'm far away from home, this thing is going all around the place. I didn't mind talking to people in that capacity. I get the feeling that he's watching tonight and he's shut down his Facebook more than likely. Because
Let's have a look.
That's very interesting. I can't see him. Yeah, so I didn't mind talking to him. It was a lot of kind of debate. He seems like a person that likes to kind of debate and come with contentious arguments, and that was okay. But I did draw the line when he got really angry at me actually one day while I was in Tanzania, because he felt that I should be preserving the image of Vincent Ratt being a community leader and that I should recognize him as a man to lead the people. And we had a big argument about it, not a kind of, argument, but a massive debate about it. And at that point, I kind of knew that, he was dodgy. But, I was polite. I didn't cut him off. He would make comment from time to time. I would allow him that. Seems like a brother that needs to get a lot off of his chest. I could always sense an underlying misogyny with him. I'm not sure what it was about. I didn't really go into it. It weren't that deep for me. Lots of people were calling me at that time, so I'd have various conversations with different people. Okay? I got a private chat. Let me see who this is. Okay, lovely. Yeah, I don't know if I can. Yeah, let me try and screenshot it from there, sis. God, how
Sorry,
did
it's a bit jumbled. Do you want me to make some spaces in it so it's a bit more reader friendly?
It's okay. You might have to read it out actually if we don't get this together. But
I don't mind.
In any event, this guy became a bit of a nuisance. And I can't remember exactly. I was trying to look for the message even in my own messenger. I can't remember exactly. Oh, okay. I have found a message. Yeah, he used to call me. I've got a message. Oh, I found it. I found it, sis.
Oh, you found it? Okay, good.
Right. It's not a picture of him. I don't think he has any pictures up, does he?
No, I sent you the profile. It's a fake picture because he's a troll. Sorry, I don't want to jump ahead. Let me just make a go on talk.
No, but he's a troll in one sense, but trolls don't usually have conversations with you.
This man is beyond a troll. This man,
in that regard, yes.
Milton, since I know you're listening.
He is listening,
definitely. I know about you, I know about you. So you see, this thing that happens is when Afua is calling out offenders, some of those same offenders are coming back onto fake accounts and reaching out, acting like they're assistants to the cause, when actually they are offenders themselves. And that's my deepest gut instinct about Milton. And he is definitely into misogynoir.
Right. Yeah, definitely that. I definitely got that. I'm just going back to the conversation we had, because he just got really shirty with me one day, actually, which he ended up apologizing for in a message, because he started shouting at me because of a disagreement that we had in terms of points of principle. I can't remember what it was about, but the man started shouting at me, and I said to him, whoa. I ain't your baby mother. Yeah, I'm not your woman. And even if I was, you shouldn't be talking to me like that. How dare you? And I think I ended the call with him and refused to respond to any messages after that. So he was quite apologetic at that point. And then he sent another message of some foolishness. I said what I said. He wanted an argument, and then I think I might have just blocked him at that point. He then turned up on Instagram, I believe, as Glowreen. For those of you that are in the comments on Instagram, you might remember him. But he was in my DMs at one point with that. I blocked him on the main Insta, which is Afua Rose 69. He's now turned up on the backup. So now he's a stalker. You understand what I'm saying? And
he is a stalker.
I would not have mentioned this guy because he's just another one of many that's in the background going on with a bag of foolishness. So I would never have mentioned him until you, my sister, tell the people what happened next, because I couldn't believe it.
I came onto Afua Speaks, this platform, I would say about 6 weeks now, possibly. And all in all, amazing support. I'm so thankful. Up until this day, I'm still communicating with the ladies who have followed me and are supporting me online.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed,
I'm gonna
first of all,
block my camera for a minute, sis. I'm here though.
okay, cool. I noticed this man had come under my YouTube initially and was being ridiculous, basically. And it was clear that he was one of Afua's trolls. Let's just call them your trolls. And then I went on Facebook and I received on my page, which I didn't even mention the page on this platform because it's my page. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And this gentleman, I don't know why I'm calling him a gentleman, but basically he had contacted me a whole long piece of a conversation. So we'll go into it. He
Yes.
says, "Can you tell me more about yourself? I'm trying to find out more about you and your reasons for going on Afua Rose's platform. After all, you're still in the yard and the problem originated there." And I was shocked because I don't know who told this man I was in yard. And I don't like when I come on platforms and I speak and people feel like they can come back to me and tell me about myself, like more
Mm-hmm.
information than what I actually have given. So
Mm-hmm.
he says, let's talk about the social attitudes of Jamaica where you live after leaving the UK. And I say, what are you talking about? I don't speak to random people online. If you
Mm-hmm.
want to communicate, do it via my website. Here is another man who thinks his opinions matter. They don't.
Mm-hmm.
Then I write his essay. I'm a black man for want of a better universal term. I have a healthy ego. So in these times, I better have an opinion I can back tangibly because who feels it knows it. So, what about a pressing social issue you and your sister have in hand right now? I personally haven't heard a man speak anything of substance. So basically, he just comes with all this drivel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Initially, it sounds like, is he being supportive? Is he
Yeah.
being supportive or is he being, a deviant?
Yeah.
Then he starts to question me, what's it like in yard then when children and in their families report sexual abuse, namely rape? You see, there is a difference between a child or an adolescent and an adult of 18, for example. Now, that is some rapist defender talking now.
Yes, I felt that when you told me about that, sis.
All of it. And then after he sends me this stuff, I just basically say, look, I don't really have time for this. Please go to my website. He says that he will, he never does. And then last week, I started a campaign for a lady in Jamaica who's experiencing domestic violence. I went on my Facebook page, and this man is basically trolling me on my page and telling my followers
Mm.
not to give me anything, not to help me because I'm a
Can you
scammer. And
tell
then
us
he's going
exactly
on.
what he put on the page, sis?
That's what you put, yeah. I can't see. You see the posts that were on the page? I think I sent them to you because I've deleted them.
Oh, you
What I can
didn't.
see, oh, I didn't. Oh, it must be my phone then. Because what I can see from my laptop are the messages that he sent to me directly. But
Mm.
what he did is that he basically went onto the campaign and said, don't give this woman anything. Don't trust her. These women are scammers. People like herself and Afro Rose. You see what I mean? Yeah.
Wow.
And then I responded and I said, "Oh, I think you're on the wrong page," because I was so like, what? So I didn't delete it
How dare
initially.
he?
But then I ran and checked who it was, and it's the same man that has only been interested in me basically since I've come on this platform.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of your trolls. I'm giving him back to you. So I went onto my page and I told my followers what's going on because I'm not the kind of person online that you can come and bully in the comment section. I would tell my entire following what's going on and then we'll move on. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
I did. Yeah.
I'm just trying. Oh, I've got him. Sorry, I was just trying to upload a picture. I've just done a screenshot so people can see who we're talking about. I don't understand any of it because one of the things that hold on, let me just get my camera on. One of the things that he said when we were having this back and forth, he was like, "Oh, I used to fancy you actually,
Yeah.
and now I, you know, it's kind of words to the effect of I used to fancy you and now I don't because you're horrible or something like that because I wouldn't
The
have
man
wasn't with
hates
him."
you. The man
And
hates
I thought to
you.
myself, why is that important? It was almost like I don't fancy you anymore, so you should feel a way about this. Like you're a faceless voice
Mhm.
because I never saw his face.
Mhm.
It was just a call with that picture that he had up, you know. It was really bizarre behavior, and I just thought,
He's
yeah,
a rapist. I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna say he's a rapist.
call it,
Like
sis, call it, because
yeah.
I myself,
Basically, I spoke to
I
Afua.
wasn't
She told me she
sure.
was speaking to him. I was asking Afua, how you managed to speak to this man through the internet, basically.
Yeah.
And for those who are following me, you know I'm a reader. I just drew some cards. What's up with this dude? This dude has actually done time. He is a sex offender, and that's why these platforms are so serious. Because the
Mm,
same person who's going to turn up to try and give you some information on someone else you've announced is
mm.
someone else that you've actually announced. Maybe Milton, whatever the name was that you called him out as, it wasn't as big as like Vincent and
No,
those
no, no.
bigger
I
names
never
that you have
called him
called
out.
out.
I never called out Milton McGowan, whatever his name
No,
is,
you call him out under one next. You let me talk
under
properly.
the
You
actual
you
his
called him
actual
out under a
name.
different name,
Right,
right? And then
right.
this Milton McGowan is a troll. It's a fake, fictitious entity that's on the internet,
Mm. I didn't
basically.
consider it. Like I said, the first correspondence that I ever had with him was over the phone. Look, when you're, you know, when you're back home, you're in Africa, whatever, you got plenty time on your hands, and you're just
No,
chilling.
I
It's not a
understand.
problem, you know. I was taking a few calls, good and bad, at that point, and you know, found them quite entertaining. And it was
Because from
also
the
a
boat
kind
when
of,
he messaged
it was also a kind of way of, you know, you kind of keeping
gauging,
in touch what's going on over there by
you have
talking
to
to people,
gauge
you know.
people. It's
All
just
right.
that once I saw his message, because I'm used to a lot of these guys that want, they love to use the word ego. They come, it sounds like they're Pan African. That's how it starts off. And they come into your inbox, and it's literally like devotion, like they've come in, like,
Mm,
you're the goddess. And if I hear that, I'm not going to have a conversation with you because time has taught me that is the kind of thing you need to run from. It's usually disguising, again, misogynoir. I'm glad you bossed me on that word,
mm,
misogynoir. Because a
mm.
lot of those guys, empress, queen, goddess, all of that, when it comes to it, if you speak to a lot of their exes, they may not have had the best experience.
Absolutely. Usually, invariably,
Usually, isn't
you
it?
know.
Yeah.
This is the guy we're talking about. I've managed to upload it, sis. This
Okay.
is, well, it's not him. It's a picture of some sort
It's
of
not
figurehead,
him.
but
Yeah.
this is his Facebook anyway. That this guy here. I always found it like when he used to call, and like, he didn't call often, but he called periodically, and he always called at the wrong time. But you know, I was polite. I'm
Mm.
a polite person by nature, so I'm not just gonna bite your face off. I'm gonna kind of give you a little time and let you speak and see what's happening. I always make time for people, and
Uh-huh,
that's kind of how
uh-huh.
he got in. And then you know, it was a debate. I love a debate too, so it was all right. I didn't mind until
Uh-huh.
he got shirty. Until I started to see some of his belief systems coming through, you know, nasty piece
Uh-huh.
of work. How
But let
dare you come and sit in the
uh-huh.
bushes on this live, a live of this nature, troll your way
Uh-huh.
through whatever, and then pick out one of our sisters, one of our
Uh-huh.
survivors to go and troll her. You're a dirtiness.
And that's
And
how I know he's a rapist. I've come on a
not for,
platform to
come
basically,
on,
yeah,
come
come
on,
on, that's what it
Milton.
is. And I'm not gonna mix my words. I come on a platform to say I've got a documentary coming out about a serial rapist. That's all I said,
Yeah.
basically. And
And you said
you
you're a scammer because you set up a
you don't
GoFundMe.
even find my YouTube or the Instagram, which I mentioned. I'm sure you find me on Facebook. And not even my Afro Belly. It was my artist page that he came on. This lady's a
Wow.
scammer. Don't give her anything. Make sure you investigate all of this stuff. And I'm just here trying to raise some money to help a sister in that I'm genuinely worried about. That's how you know. Even if he was incensed by something he heard, he has
Mm,
to be really, really guilty to respond in such an extreme way? Why didn't he just come and say some negative things under that video?
Yeah,
Because that's what
absolutely.
he
Why did
does.
he
He's
have
a
to go a
troll.
step further and target you? Because that's
Something when
what
my
he's
step,
got.
my step on him can hear, like my step on him foot. Something what I
All
said,
right.
he never
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Somebody mash him contour.
And then I just blocked him because I can't do that debate thing. And because he didn't come in civil, he just came in on this really convoluted, you seem like you're being friendly. I'm not sure if you're attacking me. What is this? So
When I blocked him on Facebook, I didn't hear from him for ages. And then he popped up. I didn't know it was him on Instagram. There was somebody making comments and whatever. And I might have been in a back and forth with them. And then he DM'd me and he went, "It's Milton, actually." And I was going to come on the live last week. And I was like, "Come on and state your point." I haven't heard from him. And the next thing I heard from him is, "You're telling me he's stalking you." Very nasty piece of work. I hope we can, there's ways, don't worry yourself, Milton. There's ways that we can actually find out who you really are, because you do have a social media presence, mate. So maybe you think that's completely anonymous. There are ways. And I'm going to make sure I get to the bottom of who this piece of nastiness actually is. He's out.
And I think he's a good example to show you of who the numbers are that are watching the videos. A large amount must be comprised of these rapists that are sitting down, worried. Say either you've called them out or they're worried because you called out their friends, and jankos of a feather flock together. So once you call out one of their friends, they'll be on the alert, like, oh my God. So
oh no, there's definitely a lot of them watching. There's the link for everyone that wants to jump in. Milton, yeah, if you've got balls, jump in, brother, and explain yourself.
Come and defend that I said
Come
that
and
you're a
explain
sexual
yourself. Why are you
offender.
stalking the guests, brother? Wasn't it
You have
enough
to
to...
come and explain that you're not a sexual offender, because I know you are. And this
Mm-hmm.
is why this is such sensitive work, because when he came into my inbox, he never thought that I would deduct that, but that's what I made of it. Because I'm Jamaican and I'm used to them little dirty little man there, but think that they can act like they're one thing, but really there's something else. Like, that's a standard thing. Sorry, everyone. Just cussing on the
keep
live.
it real, sis. Love it.
Yeah. So he's not gonna come though.
Of course he ain't.
I'm afraid. Both of them come cross question me and I ask me, like, how me live at Jamaica. I'm like, is this man an investigator? Where is he?
I think he probably misconstrued that from when you were on the live, when you were here.
What he did, he went and looked at my social media and he thinks I'm in Jamaica.
Yeah.
You're an investigator. I think people forget that we do control the information that we do actually put on social media.
Yeah. Yeah, very sinister. Very sinister indeed. I'm still waiting for him, but he's not going to come on, sis. He ain't going to face
him.
us.
Frightened for no say, me decide, say me that, listen, I know that from you've got a fake account, for one. Why are you watching Afua's platform? If you're not hearing support, why are you watching it? Why are you here?
Exactly.
Because it's burning your con, because all your friends are getting called out and you've been called out. And that's that. Sorry.
That's
that. Yeah.
I drew the line when he tried to get me to see Vincent Rat as a hero. I don't know what kind of paradox he was living in, but I wasn't having a bar of it, of course. And he got really upset. That's the first time I thought, oh, okay, we got someone with some issues. Tell me a bit about himself. I don't think I need to go into that. It might not have been true at the end of the day. Because Milton McGowan, you Googled that, didn't you? And found that it was a dead African-American.
Did I Google it? I can't even remember. Let me Google it.
Was it a white serviceman?
The good things. Let me take out my laptop.
I'm sure when we spoke,
Audrey Scott, I can see her in the comments.
We Googled it, and you were saying that it was a dead serviceman. That's when my alarm bell started ringing. I just thought, well, it's just another person out there.
A dead serviceman?
Who was I talking to? It might not have been you. But I think we Googled it.
It must be somebody else. Basically,
it wasn't you, actually. But I was Googling it with somebody, that name, and the person Googled it, and it came up as a
I see the obituary. You're right.
Okay.
But that person, there was all them did live a long life, and them just dead recently. So that's in Texas. So that's what he's done. He's just found a random name online
Right.
So no one doesn't know Milton, and that's okay because God now sleep.
But you know what I really just find so interesting, amusing, disturbing all at once is the way that the internet has spawned this whole new breed of, I hate to say it, pussies.
Even the woman them too,
Sit us behind the
because
camera and play
and
bad
the
gal
woman them too.
and bad gal
So,
and have plenty to say, but they won't come and front you. I
and
don't
not
know.
only
I'm old
that, a lot
school.
of them
Like,
won't
come in
even do
front
it from their
us.
real profile. They won't even like, this is my real name. I'm just gonna say how I feel. When I
Mm-hmm.
put a documentary out the other day, I had a woman with a fake account on Facebook with five friends,
Mm,
five, who came on my page. It's the same thing like what Milton was doing. Well, yeah, talk, it doesn't make sense. You're lying. Now, to me, I can only respect that if you say that as the real person that you are. But if you create a troll account and you think you can come and say things, it just makes you look guilty. And that's what it is nowadays. People are so chicken. They
mm-hmm.
can't even do it from their page and they're not in front of the person's face. You see what I mean? They
Mm-hmm.
have to create a fake identity to express their true
It's just so
feelings.
sad. So sad.
And then the
So
same people, when they see you on
saying
the
that
road, they're going to be like bigging you up. Blessings, Afua, bless. The same people.
same. Oh God, yeah. Um, Somebody says Milton could be Vincent Rat. No, it's not, because I've actually spoken to this Milton person via Facebook. He's called me, and if that was
Proper
Vincent
phone
Rat, I would know. He's got
conversation.
such a nasty, menacing. His voice just sounds like a demon to me. You know, that guttural type of demonic voice. So when Vincent
That's
Rat
why he's
speaks,
begging that
it might as
people
well be The
should be.
Exorcist. Sorry.
That's why he said he was begging, like, he thinks sexual offenders should be somewhat rehabilitated instead of being shunned and ostracized, because that's what he wants,
That
that
absolutely for
the
himself.
forgiveness
Mm-hmm.
for his deeds,
Mm-hmm.
but not right here. So,
Well, you know what? Um, yeah, there might be some point within that statement, because if they were just to repent and stop tell lie and demonize their
hmm,
victims and traumatize them even further, then they might get little grace. You know,
it would be
like
beautiful.
ultimately, forgiveness is the key to everything. Ultimately, right?
But I just don't see that. Maybe that happens in, like, per se, some Asian cultures, but for some reason in our culture,
No, it doesn't happen. It doesn't
they're
happen
not
in any culture,
accepting.
sis. It doesn't happen in any
Okay.
culture. Not any culture. Not just us.
They're not saying that they did it. They want to take it to their grave with them.
Hmm. They're the only offenders who behave in that way. You know, you'd be able to squeeze a
Mm-mm.
confession out of the worst kind of serial killer, you know, the worst
Mm-hmm.
murderer, the worst robber, the worst everything. But you see, when it comes to these people, nah.
That means it's definitely entitlement.
Well, it's
You know what I
entitlement
mean?
to a degree. The ones that are more ill and twisted and, further down the pipes, yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
actually believe they're right. They believe they have a right. And how dare you with your nasty self go and tell on them? That is literally their mindset.
Mm-hmm.
They'll blame you because you made them fall weak. We heard that last week or the week before.
Mm-hmm. That dirty man.
That is a
Mm-hmm.
pedophilic mindset. You understand? So
Mm-mm.
people really, and when I say people need to educate themselves, how do you? Because unless you sit down and, you can study it to a point, but unless you're exposed to that, how are you really going to get into the mind of a
And
pedophile?
I don't know. I don't know if it's educational or people just wicked sometime, because some of the things that I've been reflecting about, some of the things I heard people saying about women who had been raped growing up, what did they say? What did people in the community say when they heard that so and so? We were saying some messed up stuff. Like, I'm a part of that culture. I'm gonna say I have said things growing up that now I look back, I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
you were dunce. You were just following some foolish things. So I don't know what makes someone start to reflect and see something as true. Is it
Education, sis.
it's
Education
education?
and the
Mm-hmm.
passage of time. You know what? Funny you talk about Jamaica, because I was coming back from lunch today at work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to say where I work, but I work working at ends, put it that way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm walking through and I'm going back to work, and I see a young girl, what I perceive as a young girl. Turns out she was in her early 30s, and she was in high distress. She was in crisis. Yeah, I could see it. And even from a distance, she was inside like the doorway of a kind of mechanics or a garage or something. I was passing, and there was a guy, an older man, who looked like maybe he was the business owner or something like that. That looked like she was in a corner. So I was trying to perceive the situation. Is that man? It was a white man backing up that little sister in the corner. You know,
Yeah.
what's going on here? And she was crying. I could see it as I passed. So I went to kind of ignore it, and I just couldn't. So I doubled back. And I asked her if she was all right, and the man looked like he was relieved that I was there. He went, "No, she's not all right. She's in a bad way." I said, "Do you know her?" He said, "No." I thought, okay. I said, "Come with me." I had my badge on, so she kind of looked. There was a little bit of trust. I said, "Come with me, sis." Took a lot. This sister was so off her face. I said to her, "Let me see your eyes." They were pinned, small. So I knew she was on heroin. Her behavior and her mannerisms, I knew she was on crack also. I just knew. So I was trying to coax her into the service where I work, so that we could assist her, yeah, and that I could counsel her. This is my sister, you know, and although the service where I work doesn't really operate like that, you understand what I'm saying? She had to come in. She had to come in. So we brought her in, gave her something to eat, gave her a cup of coffee, tried to bring her around, tried to take some details from her. But one of the things that I asked her, and she's a Jamaican girl, full patois. She started cussing. It was nice. I love when they journey talk like that. Yeah. Certain places that love conformity. But anyway, I said to her, "What age were you when you came to England?" She told me 11. And already I knew what her trauma was instinctively, sis. And I just asked her outright. I said her name and I said, "So and so. Anybody trouble you when you're there, yard?" Yes, my brother, father. My brother, father. Straight away.
Brother, father.
My brother, father. I said, "How old was he, baby girl?" 8-year-old. And my heart just sank. Because if you
And
see
also the culture nasty and dirty for true.
the
As for the
state,
culture stay from
came here
morning
at
till
11.
night.
She came here at 11, and then, and you know the next question I asked her before I move on? I said to her, and what mommy said? I said, "Mommy, believe you?" I already knew the answer.
Oh, like a real
I
Jamaican woman.
already knew the answer
Like
when
a
I
real
asked her all
Jamaican
of the
woman.
questions, sis. I knew the answers. That's why I asked her. And I got the answers I expected. No, she did not believe her. So she comes to England on that at 11, after being done like that at 8. She ends up in care. She ends up in care, where it just happens all over again. And the end result is what I found on the road today.
Jesus.
Heartbreaking.
And it
Massive.
started with that same toxic, nasty
When
Jamaican
I tell you
culture.
this,
Now,
this
I'm not
young
saying every
girl,
part of
oh
Jamaican culture
God.
is nasty, but that's a big constant in the culture. A big
And then it's
constant.
also Yardman that's got her working on the street as a crack whore now. And when the state she was in, she was basically tearing at her clothes, and a lot of it was down to the heroin. She's scratching at her skin and falling down, and she was crying out and saying she's had enough. She can't live her life like no more, and it was horrible. It was horrible. Once I got her in to the office, she was falling off the chair. I had to keep propping her up because she was that stoned, just want to get away. She doesn't want her reality. Very chaotic. In the end, we kind of half sobered her up a little bit. I was about to call an ambulance. We was trying to look for a refuge, but I told them, look, they're not going to take her in that state. A refuge won't take her in that state. So what are our alternatives? Let's try to get her to a safe section. It's not ideal. You know, we didn't really want to call police because they would do a 187 section and it would be worse, probably manhandle her. We wanted maybe the crisis team to come down for her. She was out of her mind. She was out of her mind. She was boxing at things and seeing stuff, you know, that wasn't there. I'm saying this
And then
child.
people will see her and blame her, not knowing
She
that.
was completely vulnerable. There was no way we could let her out the door in that state because they would just do what they want with her. She'd already been assaulted, raped that morning.
What?
Yeah, this morning again. She's on the street using drugs. She's raped on a daily basis. So this is the trauma, and it's yard man that's got her out there pimping her and giving her drugs. You understand?
Because you see them no, me not even we have to give them a new name past yard man, you know, cause it's like man not have no heart. Cause it's like these they don't have no heart.
It's
They have
just
no heart. That's why they can do
you know, you're
that.
growing up. If you were Jamaican parentage and your parents used to tell you about the black art man, that's who they are. That's
Them
who
is
they
the real modern day black art man for true.
modern black art man. That's what they are. All of them.
Not even
But
a
yeah,
conscious
that one touched me today.
nation.
You know, every so often, even though we see these things all the time in my line of work, but this one touched me today. And she has 4 children.
Gotcha.
Doesn't have any of them. They've all been taken off her. Of course they have. You know.
Mm-mm.
When I asked her about the children, she instantly talked about the most recent one, which I felt was quite recent because her top lifted up and I could kind of see her time. And I said to her, and she, for someone using, she had a bit of weight on her. You know, she wasn't big, but she weren't marked.
Okay.
She wasn't marked down. So I surmised that she's either just had a baby or just come out of jail and started using it. But I asked her, and it was both. It was both.
It was both.
And the way she just, it's almost like she half jerked out of her stupor, and she said, "Me, Mr. Little Boy, you see." It touched me. It really did. This was a young girl, probably a little bit younger than my oldest daughter. It broke my heart. And when I said to her, "Who's got you out here?" and she started calling up the name, then it was obvious it was Yardman with the type of names. You know? Couldn't believe it.
That's so upsetting.
Really upsetting.
Really extreme, but it's that's the kind of reality. You just see the girl, like I used to live in housing, there were all these crackhead ladies in the morning when you're taking it. That's why I moved out, because you're
They're
taking your
still
child to
there, my
school.
sister. They have not stopped being there in all these
Yeah, it's a
years.
crackhead in the morning, you know.
They're still there on
You
Church
pass them,
Road.
you further down the road now, you pass them drug dealers, then you reach the school. You ever hear something, sir? So
They're
maybe
still
decide
there.
that can't go work.
They are still there on Church Road. They have not left. I'm telling you, they're still there. 20 odd years later, the same people. You remember that show, Heart of Harlesden?
But
I
in
don't think you
Stonebridge
were here for
Park.
that. No, you weren't here for that. There's an actual reality show about the people them in Harlesden.
Really?
Yes.
I
You
forgot
might
find that.
see ones of it on YouTube or something. Who remembers Heart of Harlesden? It was about those ends, man. Oh my gosh. They're still
That
there.
must have been funny, because I saw this
It
TikTok
was.
video, this lady walking around Harlesden recently, just going, "This is my local neighborhood," and then she was showing all the little shutters them on the road, like, and it's literally whatever year you go, that part of the road is always occupied by the man them. Then she showed you the little crackhead them on the corner, and I thought it was so funny. Some people thought it was like offensive, but that is really what Harlesden is like.
It is like that.
It's
It
a
is like that,
crack
sis.
place.
But you know what it is? If you look at Tottenham, Tottenham's a bit like that. It's very old, it's archaic, there's no money in there. When I first went around Tottenham after a long period of time away, I thought, oh my God, they haven't changed it since the 80s. The infrastructure, everything, the state of the buildings, the estates. I'm like, whoa. But wherever there's a strong pocket of resistance, remember you had that kind of militancy around when Bridge Park first got put up.
Of course, Harlesden was like her
Yes.
next Brixton. It was very, it was full
Exactly.
of cultural resistance. That's what I think defined it,
Absolutely.
like in the 80s. And
Absolutely.
then I think crack happened. I think that's what happened. It seems
And they
like it,
hit it
isn't
hard
it?
in Harlesden, just like they hit Brixton, Tottenham, Harlesden, they hit those hard. They were the actual center of the black community in this country. Those
It's
two
true.
places.
And
They were
Harlesden contributed a lot to Black British music that people they might not
come
realize.
on,
A
come
lot of the
on.
music was coming from Harlesden, and then
Yes, it
now
was, especially
there's
with
like
reggae
one
music.
record store there, one label. It's
Mhm,
really like
mhm.
quiet when it comes to the You still have musicians, but it's just not this pumping industry anymore.
Absolutely, sis. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, blessed love, sis. Thank you for coming
That's
on
a
and sharing about
love.
Dotty
Thank
Milton
you.
Monroe, aka Doppy, because he's a
Yeah, I will
Doppy.
not be talking to anyone who tries to come as a liquor troll. I've got my own trolls, mate.
No,
Basically,
I was
can't
so,
share them.
I was so um naive to social media, the norms, what a troll was. I didn't know anything about that, and I guess that's the kind of gap that he slipped in. I was still in Tanzania. I was fresh to the whole thing. I was
I
like,
was shocked when you
hello.
said you were talking to him. I
You want
was
to have a
like,
chat
what?
about the video? No problem. That was my stance back then. You know, I don't
But
think if
now
you're
you're getting more
touching my arm,
savvy.
idiot. Yes, yes.
Well, thank you so much again. Happy Earth
All
Strong and
right.
all the blessings
Okay,
for the year
beloved.
ahead.
Thank
And,
you, my sister.
all the best to the sister as well who shared her story today.
Yes,
And we'll
yes.
continue to support you, okay? Blessings,
100%.
everyone.
Sis, just before you go though, you got to plug the video. You guys remember when this sister was on? She told us that the video was dropping, that the documentary would be dropping about Ramon Kalai. For those of you that haven't gone over to Afrobelly to watch it, please watch it. It is
Thank
definitely
you.
worth a
Please
watch.
watch
And
it.
have you uploaded the full conversation? Because I think you should.
I haven't, but I am going to. I am.
Good.
I'm just going to put out the next episode. The next one's coming out on the 18th, I think. No, don't quote me. It's not this Sunday. It's the following Sunday because I have to put them out 2 weeks apart. I've got too much to do. So
Mm-hmm.
everyone can go and watch the first one, which is where I basically expose someone who sexually assaulted me 14 years ago and who I also have discovered is now a serial rapist. So
Mm-hmm.
I've exposed that person in the documentary on my Afrobelly page. So please check it out and subscribe and show me some love. I'd appreciate it.
Right. And I just want to say, Ramon Kalai, your time is up.
Time is up.
His
Flash
time
them
is
out.
up. It is up. It is up. It is up. It is
And I
up.
think he's
Let them
realized
go
that
along.
now. I think he realized now that it's up for true. So thanks.
Absolutely. They tried to serve a cease and desist on you just to update everybody, right?
Oh
They tried
yeah,
to
like a
they
couple
tried to
weeks
do
ago.
a Tony Clark on you.
They did. They tried to tell me that I'm not allowed to put the documentary out. I need to take the pages down. And when I take them down, the rapist, Ramon Kalai, wants to have a word with me. But he'll only have that word with me when I take it down.
I wonder what the word could be.
I don't know why everybody want to talk to me. I tell him, I say, him want to chat to me, him want to chat to me. I don't want to chat to him about nothing. I don't have nothing to say, I don't have nothing at all to say. I'm not even amused to hear what you have to say. I find it quite presumptuous that you feel like you could talk to me. That's how I feel like. So I ignored them. I just said to them that they can contact my lawyers anytime they're ready. Contact my lawyers directly. Don't contact me again. And I haven't heard from them, but I feel like the documentary has created a lot of negative stir in the community. That's the feedback I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
It
Well,
really
it's
is.
designed to shake things up, and hopefully women will be emboldened as you have been to come forward, my sister. Let's hope that
I
happens.
pray so.
Hope that
Yeah.
happens. Let's hope it happens. There's a whole leap to cut you when it comes to Jamaican culture and Jamaican rape culture, actually, and the aftermath. You know, blessed love, my sister. Stay
Thank
beautiful,
you.
stay blessed, and stay high.
You
Take
too.
care.
Blessed love. Take care. Peace.
Yes, brothers and sisters, I'm going to put the post out one more time. Make sure you go over to Afrobelly and watch that. Sister's amazing. She really is a wonderful queen. And very creative. Check out Sister's music as well. I checked out the music. Wonderful voice, beautiful voice. Make sure you check out her music, Sister Linnea. Yes, my brothers and sisters, I've got some apologizing to do for some errands, some tasks that I need to fulfill. Brother Jay, who's been on this platform before, I definitely haven't forgotten, guys. Oh man. I've heard there's some supplements you can take for menopause brain. And my menopause brain is more than overloaded with tasks right now, my brothers and sisters. Also, a sister that came on and shared with us about Marcus Nasty, Sister C, you as well. If you're watching, I'm going to WhatsApp you anyway. There's another task that I need to give you as well. There's a link I have to send you. There's all these little tasks that I need to do, and I just haven't gotten around with them. Every time I go to do it, bam, something else happens. The phone blows up, or my daughter drags me away, or whatever, and it just doesn't get done. Too much work to do, and I'm doing a lot of work at the moment. So yes, my brothers and sisters, that's me. If no one's going to come on, doesn't want to comment, you know what time it is. It's time for me to go and eat some food and relax up myself. But yeah, the Dizzy Rascal thing, brothers and sisters, I just please come on and comment about it. I want to hear what people have to say. You know, this is someone in the public eye. This isn't, you know, someone from the ends or whatever. It's safe for us to have commentary. No one's going to get back to you, you know, or whatever the prohibitors are why people usually want to stay silent. But yeah, here's the stream link one more time. Jump on if you want to have your say. If not, I'm going to bid you guys farewell and we'll chop it up again next week. Next week, actually, you guys will see. You'll see in the week when the post goes out on Instagram, but you see next week. I'm hoping that we can have the membership up next week so that we can actually hear that testimony in private without all the trolls and everything there. But next week is, next week is actually going to be somebody extremely well known from the ends. Extremely well known. Brothers and sisters, there it is, StreamYard link. Copy and paste it into the browser. And let us, please, my brothers and sisters, let us push. His time is up March. I'm going to be going on about it week after week between now and then, because we are definitely gearing up the engines. We're dusting it down, the old machine, and it's going to be going into full motion as of today, really, during the course of next week. And we'll be building that momentum as time goes by. Hit the Cash App if that's your preference. I'll put them in the description box after the live, because I failed to do that prior to. What's going on here? I can't be running out of battery. Oh, there we are. It wasn't plugged in properly. I'll put them in the description box after the live, because I can actually do that. I found out how to do it. If your fancy is GoFundMe, drop it in there, or look in the description of this video and you will see an S sign with a love heart around it. That is what is known as the super chat. So there are various ways that you can support the cause and support the His Time Is Up March 2022 this year. Security ain't cheap. It ain't. And everything else comes at a price. So let's do it. Let's make it bigger and better. Let's give it the impact that it needs. We are not funded by anybody. We are our own bosses. We are autonomous as a community, as a campaign. And I'm struggling not to go for funding, because that is when they start restricting. That is when they start to be able to pull the strings of how you do your thing and what you're able to say. And that's why I've kind of resisted it, because I know all about it, having worked in the public sector for a very long time, having sat on bids, written bids for other people's organizations, for big boys. I know exactly how commissioners work. So I'm kind of wanting to avoid it, my brothers and sisters, but, you know, sometimes needs must. And if we can broker these things on our own terms, which I believe is kind of happening more and more in the field, then, you know, why not? And our community doesn't put their hands in their pockets either, do they? So there you are. Okay, well, the comments have gone weird. So I can't even, oh, there you are. You're all back. Brothers and sisters, have a fabulous weekend. Are we going to have any takers? I'm going to give it one more time, just once. And then we'll bid you good night, my brothers and sisters. Yeah, going to get an early one tonight, which is lovely. Lovely. Oh, dear. It's going to be a scorcher of a weekend. So I hope everybody's going to enjoy themselves. I hope you're all going to relax and take in that sunshine. Don't run from the sun, you know, because we need this melanin moving forward. We really, really do. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody that's involved. And I want to give a big, special, final shout out to my sister-in, our sister-in, that shared her truth with us tonight. even though it was remotely. You know, it's for me, I don't think that there is a difference in impact. The stories are deep, they are traumatizing. I want to apologize to anyone that's been triggered. I'm trying to think, display a banner or design a banner that says trigger warning that can go across the screen. So we'll do that as well. And yeah, let's pray for her. Desiree Kami says, let's send out a prayer. Oh, I thought you meant for the sister in Desiree. Afua, I send out a prayer for a beneficiary to offer financial support to be put onto your path. Bless you, my sister. Yes, indeed, that would be lovely. Then we could get everything up and running. We could have our hub and our whatever. And you know what? When I really put my mind to it, if I start focusing my energies, I believe that the universe and the Father will have that person. I will attract that person. That's what I believe. We need to start lobbying these footballers and these people that have things like that to offer, and tell them to stop spending it on tears of Caesar and women. Do you know? That's what we need to do. Actually, we need to start pripping some people's consciences. And I think that if you go knocking enough and you attend the right kind of events, because there are places to go, it can happen. But I'm just one person. And that brings me back to what I'm going to talk about next week, but let's leave it for next week. Brothers and sisters, have a fabulous weekend. Yes, all about the black. Thank you. One last push. Hit the Cash App, hit the GoFundMe, or hit the Super Chat. And please, my brothers and sisters, support the cause, because we are not going anywhere, whichever way it flips. Have a lovely weekend. Enjoy the sunshine. Relax, and make sure that you're sturdy for the plantation, for the troubles and for the challenges and the joys ahead, actually, because that takes some energy too. Blessed love, my brothers and sisters. Blessed love.